Sometimes we wish we could be taller, not need glasses, have a different eye color, or prevent a disease. And with the promise of genetic engineering, we can almost grasp these qualities for future generations. The problem arises when the genetic predisposition becomes a lifetime disposition. That's the story of the 1997 film Gattaca. Spoilers ahead. I must say I really like this film. I like it so much I can even ignore my usual enemy in films, the narrator. I still think this movie could have been just as good without it, but it is what it is. Overall, the ambience of Gattaca feels very 2001 A Space Odyssey, aesthetically at least. It shows us a sparkling future, but only for a select group who didn't win the genetic lottery, but cheated on it. It's a society that has grown so intolerant that from the minute you're born, your DNA will determine your future, how long you live, and how tall you will be. Everyone takes genetic predisposition as fact in this dystopic world. The brilliance of Gattaca lies in realizing that genetics are simply a factor of it. It's not a whole. Aside from being meticulous about how Vincent has to live his day-to-day life, from scrubbing and getting a fake finger, the film does it in a very smart way, making you believe in the commitment of the character. In the beginning, Vincent is anything but the ideal man for such an important mission. That can only happen, by the way, every 70 years or so. He has terrible vision, not the genes to perform or pass physical tests. Or so it's thought. What I think Gattaca shows beautifully is the power of the human spirit. That's something no geneticist can code in your DNA. By sheer will, Vincent is able to replicate Jerome, an ideal DNA example. With Jerome, we can see that genetics alone can only take you so far. The same applies to Vincent's brother, who had the genes to be great, but didn't end up better than his brother. Vincent even quote-unquote outlived his life expectancy. In the end, all the physical and mental exams were passed by Vincent. Jerome only lent him his genes, and just like that, he became the very best out of a select few who were supposed to be genetically superior. Another interesting aspect of the film is how it not only shows how the quote-unquote invalids live and work, but also portrays others who are not invalids but are not on board with this way of discrimination, like the doctor. There are many important details in this film that are worth mentioning. Conceptually, it's a brilliant work that addresses almost every point against genetic discrimination. The cinematography is visually beautiful. The score is brilliant and the acting is impeccable. The visual and conceptual themes feel very poetic. By the end, we witness how Vincent won against his brother in swimming and eventually made it to space, not because of the DNA running through his body, but because of his will. However, it wasn't Vincent doing it, at least not to the world. It was Jerome. And the real Jerome felt like that did him justice, in a way. Gattaca is a testament to the power of human spirit and how the human will can be stronger than genetic predisposition. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.